What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Market Flow, the Ackalades Family Podcast. Here with my esteemed co-host, the Stock Odin. How you doing tonight, Mr. Stock Odin?
What's going on? Ready to hear some new stories.
Here's some new stories. Yeah, so we got on somebody actually who helped me start the podcast when we were, a wee baby here in this whole industry, I guess you want to call it. Just starting out, we were live streaming. We couldn't get any sound to work. We would go for an hour straight, and no one could hear us. And we'd be live streaming on YouTube. We'd be getting messages. Everyone's telling us, "Yo, we can't hear you." This, that, and the other. You got fucking numbers in the background yelling. It was a whole shebang back then. So we got Numbers on with us tonight. He's a OG in the Accolade server. How you doing, Numbers?
I'm doing good. Glad to be back. It's good to see what's kind of happened since I've been gone. Yeah, like you said, it was a little scuffed when we started it up. We're using OBS, running it from my PC, and then I do a lot of gaming and stuff. So like OBS would constantly pull different sound sources, and then we could never get it right. So
yeah.
God, that was aggravating.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it was definitely aggravating. So before we get into any topics of discussion, we'll just say real quick, we're not financial. This isn't financial advice. What we talk about here are just opinions and thoughts and ideas, not buy and sell signals. So yeah, Numbers. I know you. We were talking a little before we got on here to start filming. You had went to college, aspiring to be an investment risk something or other. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started, all that good stuff?
Yeah. So found out I was really good at math, and went to college for it. Was going to be a math teacher. Decided they didn't make enough money, and the stock market was kind of, what was that, like 2008, 2009 is when I went to college. So, stock market was all the talk. Then it was like the crash happened, everything else, like how banks screwed everybody, the whole shebang. Big Short was coming out, and I just kind of thought risk, like I started looking into different stock jobs, and I didn't want to call people to like try to build a book of business, which hindsight, that's probably what I should have done. And like trying to sell stocks, but doing the like analysis and predictability and all that kind of stuff was really intriguing to me, especially when you start applying all the math that I was taking in school. So actuary, went to try to be an actuary, did all that fun stuff, decided pushing numbers just wasn't for me at the end of the day. I like the human interaction of it all. And ended up in sales. So I do data center sales now, but my degree is mathematics and economics. And this has always just kind of been in the back of my mind of like somewhere I could go and make money whenever I eventually had disposable income to do so with. And so then that's when I started doing that about 2 years ago.
Like trading on your own?
Yeah, trading on my own. It was funny story. My wife is a much better trader than I am, mainly because she has diamond hands, but we won't get into that. Like one day she calls me and goes, "I want to buy Dogecoin." And I was like, "Why the fuck would you? I'm sorry. Why would you buy Dogecoin?" And she's, so we go back and forth. I was like, "Fine, if you want to buy Dogecoin, buy Dogecoin." She goes, "Okay, I need $7."
$7.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, spend $7. I don't really care if you buy $7 with a Dogecoin." And I said, "If you get to spend $7, then I get to spend $7." And at that point, I went, did some DD, and I bought an SNDL, Sundial. Everybody knows Sundial.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that. We'll talk about Sundial in a little bit here. I know.
Oh, really?
Odin was just talking about it in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, and I rode it, from that 30 cents hole up to that $1.50 peak. Got rid of it, and I made a nice profit, 5x my money, so I'm up to $35. Uh, and then that was about the time AMC started gaining traction, and I've gotten to there, and then eventually through Weeble, I found you guys. I found
That was when Weeble allowed me to post ads.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what happened was I actually followed like a bunch of people that I thought gave fairly good analysis. And we won't name them, but I had about 20 different people I was following, and I never joined any of the discords, but then they were allowing you to post yours, so eventually I got on there. And there was like 15, 20 of us. I mean, it was like
Yeah,
me,
you remember
you,
why you
Wonder.
joined too the Discord? Because I was posting recaps, and I remember you were right. Wow, you're the only person you commented. You're the only person I've ever seen post losses on Weeble,
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Weeble
it was.
comments.
Yeah, not only did you post like you didn't just post like that you lost, you posted why you lost and what
Yep.
happened and why you thought it was going to go one way and it ended up going the other. And that kind of analysis is incredibly helpful for new people because you have to understand like what indicator flagged you to not do that again, right?
Yep.
Like if you get into the same setup, you need to be looking at these certain things that like took you south. So yeah, that's kind of like why I joined, and then like yeah, we all hit it off on the Discord. We started growing. I brought a couple fire plays in. Me and you rode support.com and BBIG before it got
Yep.
big.
Yeah, we were in early on both of those. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what we also got like, what was it?
We got quite a few, man. We got
Yeah,
in,
we had a
you
few.
know,
We had a lot because I wasn't doing much for
we were
work.
live trading. There was like 5 of us live trading, and we were like fucking. We were all. I remember there was like a month straight. We were just trading BBIG every day. I had it on one account as a swing, and then we were day trading just all day on BBIG, and that was right after support. Support. I actually got into support before the Discord came about because I met Wonder, who is, if you guys don't know, if you're watching this and you're not in the Discord, I suggest you click the link and join. Wonder, I met him in a different Discord, and we were like, yo, we're getting dumped on. These people are pumping dumpers. And that's how we came up with the idea to start Accolades. And he DM'd me one day and was like, SPRT. And the shit was like $3, not even. He was like, get in, load it, hold it. And I did. I mean, I ended up getting out way too early, but still, that motherfucker was spot on with that thing. And that was at least a 2-month hold before it actually ran. But still, it was pretty funny. And then he gave me another play too. He kept DMing me plays, and I would take like a real small size on them just to like test them out because he brought value to that chat, a chat full of pumpers, and who wants a banger, like this. Like this comment if you want a banger in 30 minutes, and the gassing the chat up, and then the 12-cent spike, and then you're dumped on, and then it's why'd you chase, the same scenario in every Discord. But Wonder would DM me, quality setups, quality swings. He's a solid swing trader, that motherfucker. I know he hasn't been able to really swing much since January because the whole market's just, you can see right here on the screen here what we've been doing since January. It's just been kind of.
We all know he's just sitting on his yacht enjoying his time off,
Yeah,
out at his island.
He's sitting on his dog sled right now, fucking mushing through the snow.
Yeah.
So yeah, fucking mushing right through the snow to go to the grocery store. So yeah, so that's numbers. He's in the Discord. He's an OG. He used to help. He actually helped me out. You actually helped me out set a lot of the shit up in there because I'm not technologically inclined at all or advanced in any way necessary to run any kind of social network at all. So yeah, he definitely helped me out in time. So we brought you on, right? So we had a bet going, right? Me and numbers. We had a bet going.
Here we go.
We got to talk about it at least once, right? We'll get through it quick. Don't worry. So it was right about October, right? It was right about October, somewhere in this area. Maybe it was like right after this rally here, right?
It
And we were
was
talking shit on a fucking podcast too. We made the bet, so we can even go back to the archives and find
Yeah.
that. But yeah, and figure out which day. And we made a bet. It was at first $50. I said Spy's going under 400, and at first I think I said by the new year, and then we ended up in changing the
I
bet
gave you real
rules.
good
Yeah,
odds.
yeah, he gave me better odds. You were like, dude, that's 3 months away, 4 months away. You
Yeah,
might want
what
to.
happened, if I remember right, what happened was Spy gapped down. It was Spy gapped down and then Spy gapped up by like 3 or 4 points throughout. It gapped up and then it went up 3 points during the day. It was like right at that spike right there that you're on.
Yep.
And you're like, there's no way this is sustainable. It's going to crash. And I was like, not for a while. And then that's how it all came to, like, that's why we set like a 400 limit. And then
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah,
it.
we had to have a tick under 400
Yep,
during market
399.
hours, 399.99 during market hours, and then we hit an all-time high, then we dipped, then we hit another all-time high, and my ass got ballsy. I was like double or nothing. I 480 here, we're 479. I go double or nothing. And at this point in time, my odds were pretty slim up here, to go down a whole 79 points. And I doubled or nothing, and lo and behold, here we are. Now what's today's May 17th,
Somehow
2022.
somehow this guy knew there was going to be a war in Ukraine. There's going to be all this other food shortages stuff. He knew it was all coming. I don't know, Nostradamus over there.
They call me Snipe. They didn't call me Snipe for nothing. No, it was what I was going based off of wasn't any new macroeconomic events, and I think eventually, even without the war, we would have probably hit it. I might not have gotten it in time. It might have been after October, but like as we see now, we're raising rates, right, and inflation's not being touched. It's still increasing, and we're raising rates. They just did 50 BPS. They did 0.25. They did 50, and they're going to start getting more aggressive, is what I was going off of, because it's not sustainable. For one, if you look at the yearly chart on Spy, like the past 2 years, it ran up like 25%. Back-to-back years. I think it did like 18% and 25%. So it was just a mix of a few things. But I think if we didn't have the other macroeconomic events like the war, the food shortages, China COVID outbreak again, I think it would have probably been around December that I would have been all right. But
Yeah,
what happens?
I remember I was talking to Julian and DMs on Discord, and he's like, "Do you really think it will never go below? It'll never dip?" And I said, "No, not that it won't dip. That won't dip below 400." I completely agreed with you that it would dip, but I really thought the floor was going to be that 415, 412 mark.
Right here, yeah, right here.
And
my thick
like
line.
I remember us talking about that, and I was like, I think by the time we get there, like we get to that all-time high to where it starts to teeter and fall off a cliff, I think the new floor will be above 400. And that's the only reason I was fine doubling down when we were at the top, and even taking the bet in the first place, because I thought by the time it would teeter. But obviously,
we'd
like
be
you
high
said, with
enough
all
that
the
it
other,
wouldn't. Yeah, we'd be high
with all
enough
the
by
other,
then.
with all the other things that happened, kind of accelerated that. And
yeah,
I can't tell the future, so I lost.
So I know
There you
you haven't really been trading, right? So you just got a new job, right? You started a new job. You haven't really been trading. At least I don't know if you are. Maybe you got some long terms that you've been holding or some buy and holds. But I don't know if you've been paying any attention to like the daily action on Spy. Now, Odin here, he's, remember how we used to trade Spy contracts and we would crush it? Like Odin's like that on steroids. So I don't know if you've been in the Discord at all, but we just got Odin's now one of our top shot callers in there, and he's now my partner on the podcast here, and among any other things. And this motherfucker, like, let me tell you, I would trade options. I'd go on those sprees when we would correct. Like in here, I went on that
Yeah.
spree, and I do well because the volatility is so good that it's so juicy that it's
You
really
almost
hard.
couldn't lose.
Yeah, it's really hard not to. I'm not going to sit here and try and toot my own horn. It's really hard not to do well because you can be down 50% on SPY puts, and the thing's up 1.5%, and then all of a sudden we close red, and your SPY puts are up 150%. Like that's just how the action is when the volatility is, the VIX is spiking uncontrollably. Now Odin, this motherfucker does it consistently, when the market's going up, when the market's going down, when the VIX is high, when the VIX isn't high, and not just with SPY too. Since he's joined us, he's given so many 1,000% plays, like it baffles me.
Nice.
So Odin is definitely one to look out for if you do start to come back in, because I know you love the lottos.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've made it like, so I always did really good day trading SPY options. What got me in trouble is when I started speculating and holding overnights.
Yeah.
And I would lose I would lose it. But like
It's
during the day, yeah. But like I pretty much told myself when I come back, because I'm going to, SPY is off the table. I'm not gonna touch it. We've always talked about it. It's the thing that blows up your portfolio. And I wouldn't say it blew mine up. I mean, I made a lot of money on SPY. I mean,
did you say pump up? Did you say pump up the portfolio?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what it did for me. I mean, I turned $200 into $3,000 overnight because I held some options overnight, and then it gapped up, and I was in the money. So I bought like $30 calls, and they ended up like $200 in the money, and it was a pretty good day. So like I'm not gonna say I lost money on SPY, but like my heart can't take it anymore. It's a nice way.
Well,
to
it
put
takes
it.
and it takes a special. It does take a special person. So what? Oh,
And you
why
have
don't
to
you
look at
tell?
it all
Why don't you
day.
tell numbers a little bit about how you play options, because you don't play them like we would go a couple weeks out a couple days out for expiration. A little bit out of the money. Like we're playing a little bit safer than what me and you have been doing the past couple weeks.
You're playing Day of Expo.
Oh, he plays that. That's how he plays, and it blows my mind because we seen this girl on Twitter, right? Like if you're playing same day expos, you're just gambling. She writes, and I was just like, I mean, I guess you could say that if you're just buying them, but like he actually is so consistent with them that I can't call it gambling.
Right. Once is luck, twice his skill. 3 times is you're a made man.
Yeah, exactly. So Odin, how did you? I don't think we've ever really got into it. How did you get into the same day expos?
Honestly, it was originally just sounds odd, but I would I guess I don't think I've ever actually told this story. I think that I had originally my margin account on TDA, and then I also had a cash account, and I only kept I didn't keep a whole lot of money in the cash account originally. I just kept a few $1,000s in there. And so one day I was just like, I'm gonna mess around with the cash account, and I was like, I'm gonna trade these options here that are cheap, and oh, they're expiring today. Oh, okay. And I dabbled. I only bought a few contracts at first, and then I started dabbling more. I didn't really understand how to play them right away, but I was actually would win. And then then you get a little bit more confident, and then I lost a little bit more. And I don't know, I guess just over a time period,
Yeah.
I started to realize the money that's in it. If you can get your risk right, and definitely I like to do it from a computer, and not so much from a phone, because they do fluctuate. So if you're buying, bigger amounts, you need to be able to stop out. And I prefer not to really, stop out much below a break even. I mean, I'm usually pretty good at getting the bottoms or close to them, and knowing the range that there's possible. So, I look, okay, if I'm buying these contracts that are 420s and it's 410 right now, they're 33 cents. I'm just coming up with random numbers. But if we move up to 4 415, that turns into a 90-cent contract.
Yeah.
So, I don't necessarily need to get in the money. I'm just trying to catch it at the bottom. And,
Right.
obviously I do have a way of picking my strikes a lot of times, not, always, but,
I guess when you do same day options, and I've never really thought about it this way, but you really do avoid the theta and IV crush that happens when you buy a couple day out.
Yeah,
Because they're
you got
expiring
theta
that
all
day.
day though, so you do have to realize it's
Right.
that last day. It's the theta is literally eating it up. That's why playing at the end of the day, the last power hour is where you actually truly make the most money. I mean, you can at the beginning of the day too, or if you hold overnight, but like those contracts are so ate up in theta that if you do get a move at the end of the day, you're getting contracts that are 30 cents that could, become $2 or whatnot because they're in the money, because they're pretty much in the money, because you can get contracts so much cheaper the last hour, but really the last, 30 minutes, if you get in there, that theta's already ate it away. You just need it to move the direction you want to be able to double up your money or triple it or 1000% it. It just really depends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that up because I know numbers. I don't think you've really been in the Discord seeing what we've been up to in there, but yeah, we had a couple great fucking plays the past couple weeks. NUE we played for, was that like 1500% Odin that you hit NUE with? We had
there was a spy
DVN.
alert.
Yeah, DVN we hit a couple spy alerts over 1000%. We had, me and you did that DVN overnight puts. That was over 150% buy at the close, sell at the open.
Yep.
So that was nice. So, yeah, it's been really solid over there in the
Yeah,
options.
not all mine are zero. I'm just saying clearly spy is,
Well, for spy you play, that's spy.
but
Is a little
Yeah.
I like I would say when it comes to swinging or even overnight puts, overnight options, I usually do tend to trying to find tops, big fast move downs that it's going to either gap down or trend down very quickly, so I don't have to wait a week to get out. I've already got anywhere from a 50 to a 200% move.
Yeah, right off
like
the first day.
like off new and off DVN and things like that.
Yeah. So spy, we've been obviously in this downtrend for a while. This rally here, we had this small rally here. So now let's get into a little forward looking here. So we've got the past, I guess you want to call it 3 sessions, right? So yesterday's session was kind of flat. We opened and closed pretty flat, but Friday and even Thursday when we came down and then it got bought up. So I had this trend line here. This is from a while back. It looks like we bounced right off of it. What do you think, Odin? Do you think we going back up to this top trend line here, or what are you looking at on this? Because it looks like this is a 3-leg move down, or
So
1, 2, 3.
Honestly, I think that there's definitely room, to go to even 435 area. Like I said, there's more money if they can do this. It's more controlled, better algos on it than all the past crashes and stuff. There's so much more money in playing the market up and down as a market maker because everyone's taking puts. Everyone's taking puts. If it goes straight down, you can chop people out and actually make more money by trending the market up and down. And obviously we're still going to trend to the downside, but it's more controlled and there's more money in the market to be made on the way down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think that at a minimum, I'm not going to say, but we can definitely hit, if we break here, we're definitely going to the 411, 412 area.
Yeah, I got a pretty strong level here, 411, 50-ish, somewhere around there, that we had tapped as support and then rejected here as resistance. So we'll see on that one. And then even here it tapped it too back here, and the last time we hit that low.
And then we got and then we would the next move up would be for the
Hey, you want to pull up your chart? Why don't you pull up
around
your chart? Show us what you're looking at.
Hold on. I'm gonna have a lot of. I'm not gonna erase all my trend lines, but
yeah, no, you're good. I got all mine on here. We could see your crayons, your scribbles. Well, while Odin does that, make sure if you're watching this, you're not in the Discord, definitely hit the link below. We'll just do a quick little thing. We got me and Odin's Twitter handles. You can follow us on Twitter. And then also we'll talk about the Odin newsletter as well at the end, and Whale Stream. But
I haven't been. I do need to repost here soon. But anyways, here we have the retracement. So right now we're at the 78.6, how I have it marked out. And then so our next I would say would be somewhat correct, right around there, around the 420 if we can break there. And then if we can get up here, I don't see it. I don't see it going past the 435 area, even though it does have. But we're kind of in like a. What would you?
That's like perfectly based off historical. So like if you look back at May of last year on like a weekly chart, it fluctuates between like that 390 area and 420, and it just fluctuates. And then once it breaks 420, we see our next move up to 450, and then it does another retracement on the weekly. I mean, if that was algos back then, we could see something similar.
So I mean, technically, you've got this. Like, I mean, I would like to see it come down farther to say, but you've got this ABC correction wave. But like, I mean, if you look at it that way, but then this can trend up here, come back up, and then go down, and then when you go into a monthly.
I know the monthly looks just completely gross.
So, I mean, here's your monthly right here. We can just keep slowly working our way down. I mean, it's kind of in like a spread out channel widening down, little mini megaphone one. I mean, at the moment. So
yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things can happen. I mean, all it takes is, with SPY, especially in the indices, takes one news break, and that's it. Your trend's fucked. one big news break, and the trend's completely fucked. I mean, forget about it. Russia does some wild shit again, and we won't even. We'll just we'll wake up to turmoil again.
Yep. Yeah, and it's one of the things I hate about SPY, and one of the, I'm sure you still tell new people stay the hell away from it, because you can really make the case for SPY to move anywhere at any time. 70-ish% of the time, you could make the case for it to do whatever you wanted it to, because of just everything that happens with it. It does some weird things, unless that one day that me and you were playing it, and you see like a couple $1 million dumped into it and buy, and then a couple $1 million dumped into it and sell, and we just see like two big hedge funds battling out. What's going to happen?
Fund wars, yeah, you can see those on the tape. Still pretty. It's pretty funny that you could see one outbidding the other, one hitting the bid, one's trying to sell the bid. It's funny stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny to see him like throwing a bid for like 10,000 shares, like $1.50 above ask, right?
Yeah.
And you just watch it just fly up, and then all of a sudden you see like a sell at like 10,000 shares, $1 below ask, and you just see it plummet back down. And it's so funny to watch like Vanguard and those guys just throw money around like it means absolutely nothing to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean much to those
Yeah, to
motherfuckers.
be fair, yeah.
So you know what's something? Yeah, I mean, at least the past 2 sessions, I want to say. I don't want to say that this is what's going to continue, but I've noticed this actually. Last correction too. So like the move down is always so much more violent, right? The volume is like almost double every single red candle compared to the green candles. So the volatility's kind of cooled off a little bit. Maybe, I could see maybe a couple more slow moving green days. Like you said, maybe we creep up to the 411 tomorrow. Maybe we reject it, pull back, then we break it the next day. Maybe we come up and test the daily, like that's what I'm looking at is the daily 50. And then really I know we've rejected multiple times what is it? The 200. We've come up and rejected. Now my screen's all fucked. We've rejected this 200 a couple times in here. So, I mean, maybe we get all the way up. That's I guess, the top trend line. But I'd be really looking for this, which would also be like a quadruple top, too, if it came up here and rejected right around here. It'd be a nice quadruple top. But we'll see. I mean, it's been like today, even though we moved up pretty violently, I mean, we played puts and I got 62% and 2 candles on puts when JPOW was speaking, and then it ended up ripping. Like if we would have reversed that, went calls there, we could have probably got another 150% on the way up. But at first, the whole day was just so slow. I felt like it was so slow. I was watching paint dry on the spot. Like it had that big drop in the morning, but then it was just like if you didn't buy puts right out the open, like you didn't catch that move. There was no stop.
I remember when we first started, like we started playing SPY fairly heavily at the beginning, and it was a day Powell was going to talk, and it was a day he was announcing that they were bringing in interest rates. Like they were starting the interest rates, and you were like, "It's put city, baby."
Yeah, I went heavy,
and I went heavy calls, and I told you I went calls, and then like he talked, and then it just like skyrocketed through the roof, and you're like, "What the just happened?"
I
like
was blown away by that.
And I was like,
was blown away.
It's because it's what happened. It was according to plan, and actually, it was less than plan. Since it's according to plan or less, and everybody's already hedged, everybody's buying back in since now they know. So
did he just call you out, Mike?
Yeah, it's all right.
I do it to him occasionally.
Pretty nasty loss that day. It was all right. It's nothing big. Couple grand.
Just
10 grand.
Yeah, just monthly salary, whatever.
My house,
monthly salary. Yeah, I lost my house. I had my house leveraged with my broker. They took it. They took everything. No, but I could have gotten out green. That's the thing is with these
you could have that day.
It spiked down real hard, like it does every time. It usually. So what I've been noticing, and I actually played the last FOMC meeting like this, and it was an interesting strategy, and it worked really well. As it was a vertical, right, Odin? What that I did?
I don't remember what you did, but I do remember.
I bought calls. I bought calls closer to. No, I bought puts closer to Expo. Calls a little bit further out on Expo, and then the strikes about. I think they were like $10 apart from the price each.
So it would have been. I don't know the technical term, but it would have been closer to
it's like a straddle.
Straddle.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever it was.
The same date. A vertical would be if you buy, say, like 410 calls, and then you sell 420 calls.
Okay, yeah.
So
I did that with Tesla. But it was kind of like a backwards vertical. I bought calls and sold puts.
Yeah. So
But anyway, so I did that, and so what I would notice the last FOMC meeting, right? Whatever move we make first on that like 15-minute candle, usually the opposite's what's going to rally the rest of the day, either up or down. And so I did that, and it dumped right away. Right as soon as he went on, it dumped. I got like 40% on the puts, and then it just rallied, just ripped, and I got like a good 150 almost % on the calls. That was a good day because both of them paid. It wasn't like I was hedging myself and like cutting whichever one didn't work out. I knew I was holding both of them, and then whichever one went first, I was cutting, and then I was going to ride the other ones. So that's a good way to play those FOMC meetings. Then you're not just looking. 200 fucking puts, 2-day, 3-day expo, and you get a $10 rally to the upside, and you get completely smoked with no
Right.
stop loss on.
Yeah, that's actually like I never had enough money to play both sides, and even if I did have enough money, I don't know if I would, just because you know, Mike, you know me. I'm not a bear. I'm a bull. Up, up, up. Here we go. But I mean, I did play puts plenty, but I would never straddle like that.
What broker do you use?
Right, I was just using Weeble. I wasn't too terribly like heavy into it. And actually, that's what I'm trying to figure out now.
You'll have to check out how we have the set up.
Yeah, there's a video that I don't know if it's on the Akalades YouTube channel, but if it's not, I'll post it on there too. But it's in the Discord. It's his setup here for options on desktop. It's an active trader setup on Weeble, and you customize it. And I used it a little bit this morning for the first time. Or no, maybe it was yesterday. I used it whenever you came on voice and taught me how to set it up. I set it up, and it's dope because you can drag your stop up as the it's like you're trading shares, like how you can just drag your stop up. You could drag your stop up on it, and you have the calls on one side, puts on the other. You have the call chart on one side, put chart on the other, underlying in the middle, and then you've got your tape, obviously your level 2 or your time and sales.
Yeah, I don't use like level 2 because it's so none of it really matters. The way they have it play is it's always going to show something on the book. So I'm really just watching the time and sales. The order book doesn't really mean much to me because, as you see on a lot of these contracts, you can literally watch the algo like selling it and then buying it back, selling it, buying it back, just for the spread. So, what really matters to me is when I can see these actually getting hit or selling off. So I just go off that because I'm already watching the underlying and everything else too.
But numbers, if you come back, even if you're just trading options on anything, not just SPY, you should go in there. When you come back, you should go into it's in one of the videos channel. He's got a couple of them for Weeble, for Thinkorswim. He's got the active trader.
I think I was talking about it in Discord with you. I think when I come back, I'm gonna start writing calls. I'm gonna just start doing covered calls. I think that's gonna be
load up something cheap and start writing calls against it.
No, and I was actually talking to the wife about it the other day because I was brainstorming and I was like, I could buy like something at $4 that I think might pop off and sell like $3 calls at like $2 a contract, right? And like try to make like extra, get a little greedy with it, right? Where you know what I mean? Like if it doesn't pop the 5, then like obviously they're not going to execute on it, or even if I write it for like $1.50 a contract or something like that, where I could I could try to like squeeze a little extra instead of like selling it for like 50 cents for the speculation play. So I don't know. I'm still debating, but options are going to be, if I do any options, it's going to be writing something stuff, probably.
Oh, great. Did you say you're doing 0 days till expire?
I don't know it.
Well, see you on the battlefield.
I got you.
See you on the battlefield. We got a SPY chat in there that's dead now, but it used to be lit. That SPY chat.
Yeah, it was.
It used to be lit. We should bring. We traded every day, but everyone hangs out in the options chat now anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to jump back between 3, 4, 5, 7 different channels, especially if you're trying to call shots because you're already trying to type and answer people back and trade yourself. So
I almost
a little too much work.
Yeah, when I was one of the admins, like I legitimately thought about locking the SPY chat down to just us callers because I didn't want people seeing what we were fucking doing in there. Like it was, there were a couple times we got a little degenerate, to say the least.
We're definitely gambling at
Yeah,
one
we were
point.
gambling. We were gambling a little bit, and like
All the overnight one day
Yeah,
expirations
exactly.
were just straight gambles.
Yeah.
Like even right now, like I got puts, but I got puts for an overnight, but they're 5 days out. And
Right.
I'm watching the ES Mini just tank right now, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, but we were doing like 3 days till Expo or 2 days till Expo, and then holding overnight. And like basically, if it didn't make the move we wanted, we were cooked. Like
Yeah, we're
there
going to
was
zero.
there was no in between. Either we were making a lot of money or we were making nothing. So yeah, I mean that's why I'm like, maybe I don't know. Like Spy's calling my name, but I need to lock that thing off, and so I can't touch it. But
maybe build up enough lottery
Build some
money
equity.
build some equity up first, then start fucking around with it. You know what I did was a couple weeks back, because I trade on my main account's trade zero now, and I still have the Weeble account open, just no money in it. So I was like, you know what? Options on Trade Zero, they want 60 cents of fucking contract commission. And I have no clue how to use a stop loss on the fucking thing. I did one round of options and I got completely cooked, like just fucking smashed, because I couldn't figure out how to set a stop and I didn't even know how to sell this shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull out 5K. I threw 5K in the Weeble account and a couple weeks back, and I've literally it's over PDT now just from playing fucking spy options with Odin here on the daily. I've been spending more time on that smaller account than my main account. Like I'll take 2 to 3 trades in the morning and just get my daily goal on my main, and then I'm like, all right, logging out of Trade Zero and pulling up Weeble, like it's game time. Odin's almost off work. It's game time. It's time to get prepared, bro.
That almost sounds like one of the other OGs we used to wait to go on lunch break. Success.
I don't even know where he just disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared. But that guy, like, we would all wait for him to like say something, because when he was right, when he was wrong, he was still right sometimes. But like there were a couple times where he called a play and it would literally pop 2,000% within a minute.
Yeah, he was the first options alerter for us over in Akalades. I don't know what happened to him. I remember one day he hated Oxygen, right? He had it out for this company, Oxygen, right?
Yeah, he did.
And one day he smashed like his whole portfolio in puts, and he made like, I forget what it was. He posted in the Profits channel. He was like, I'm going away for a week. I'm done trading for the rest of the week. I'll talk to you guys next week. That was the last time he posted. The motherfucker's been gone since. But yeah, Oxygen's that scam fucking vaccine eye company that the apes were on.
He caught it at the top and bought like a shitload of puts and then just watched it tank and then sold out and called it a day.
Yeah. So with that, we're pretty much here at the end. Before we close everything out, numbers, it was great having you on. Sorry that you lost the bet.
It's all good.
We'll make another one soon. And
we got new right up here.
Yeah, NUE. Yeah, we hit new right at, that's a daily, right? We hit new right at the top there.
Just think if I would have took farther out
and held them. Yeah,
that's literally a.
Yeah, and you prepped for that trade for like a good couple days, because I know V had given it to, put it on the watch list. He was like long. He was talking long, and I remember we were DMing. You were like, I love when V sends me a chart, because usually, you'll get maybe 1 or 2 more green days out of it, and then it's time to go short.
Yeah, he's really good at finding these charts that have just been running, and so right here is actually where. Let me show you real quick. Earnings was right here. Earnings was right here, and it literally gapped up.
Yeah, you were on it.
Boom.
Yeah, but it shows
that was earnings.
It did gap a little.
Oh, earnings were after market the day prior that it ran.
And then it literally boom went up, and I was like, there's no way this is sustainable. And I was like, bam. And then, yeah, the next day, I mean, that was perfect down. It literally erased all of it. And the
Yeah, it was
following
like a
day,
15. That was the first.
Ooh.
I think that was the first 1,500 percenter that you had alerted in Accolades for us at least. I know you've
no,
alerted
actually,
many
Spy
of
went
them.
for a higher
What? Oh
percentage.
yeah, you're right.
Spy
Spy
went
gate
for like
or
25
the
or like over 2,000.
yeah zero DTEs, right? Those zero
No,
DTEs
that was
on
next day. Next
next
day,
day.
yeah, it was the next day, but it literally got caught at the top. So I mean, that thing turned from like 40 cents or whatever it was into like 18, $20 or whatever it ended up being. It's somewhere in the Discord.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got a couple of pictures, but with that, we're right here at the time. Numbers once again. Thanks for coming out. If you guys are watching this, not in the Discord, hit the link below. Join us. Free room. We have a lot of fun. We have some banger calls daily. Community, great community, and we got some stuff coming up in the works. Me and Odin have been working on a couple things. We're gonna run some different workshops and different stuff coming up in the future. So get in the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Also, we've got
Someone
like and
coming up.
subscribe here as well, and then Odin's newsletter. Let's talk about Odin's newsletter real quick. No, you haven't done one in a couple days, but you do them pretty regularly.
Yeah, I was. Obviously, I've been busy with everything. And right now, I'm still trying to, you can't really post, in a newsletter, a day, day trades much. So, a lot of them were supposed to be swings. So we're gonna see how the market reacts. Continues to react here a little bit because if so, we might be able to swing a few
Swing some
companies.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll just see, and then hopefully, if we get a nice return up, my overall thought's
Swing the
still bear.
backs. Yeah,
So
swing back
swing it
down.
right on back. So,
Yes, sir. And
and
then
then we
one
also
other.
got someone coming
Well,
on Saturday. Don't forget to talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. I will. I'll bring that up too. And then we have this last one that I wanted to do, Whale Stream. If this is what Odin uses, I'm about to be signing up for it as well. This is for your options flow. You get $10 off using this link. It'll be down below. And then you'll also get, if you do the yearly subscription, you'll get $10 a month off. Plus they give you about 20% off for using the yearly subscription. So it's a pretty solid deal. You'll get 120 off plus the extra 12 or 20% for Whale Stream, and that's for your option flow. And then, like Odin was saying, next week we got Joe. How do you go over that? Because I'm still not
I think it's pronounced Bays, but
Joe Bays.
that's how I'm pretty sure I've seen that before. So
Yeah, and what is
I heard
you
that.
know him
So
a little bit. You know him briefly. He's a market analyst, right? He analyzes macro
he's really
trends.
big into macro. Obviously doing designing indicators, but as well macros.
Yep.
So he's really got set up that way in his room.
Yeah.
And I met him through TradingView originally, and then decided to go over and check him out. Tried a few of
So
his
yeah, he
indicators.
he creates indicators which we are now affiliated with, and I'll post that link down below too. He's got some indicators brought to you by TradingView, I believe. They're all on TradingView, so they're pretty dope. I was checking them out last night, so it's definitely something to add into the toolbox. So you'll have that link as well. You'll get I believe you get I want to say 20% off or $5 off, something like that for using the link. But yeah, we'll get more into that next week when we have Joe on. He can explain it a little better than I can because I'm still new to the whole indicator thing. We just affiliated with him yesterday. So Joe will be coming on, and then we've got a whole lineup of guests coming on. So tell your friends, tell your family, check out the Discord, check out the podcast weekly. We got an NFT, one of the NFT girls in our room that's huge in the NFT space coming on. We've got we're supposed to get Luna on, the crypto queen. We got quite a few coming up, and then also Joe's going to hook us up with another a connection for another guest. So we're going to be hitting guests after guests for the next couple weeks. So it'll be cool to see how everybody else in the world, is managing through these market conditions and how they're staying profitable.
Absolutely.
All right. And with that, Odin, you got anything else? Is that whale stream you got pulled up there?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Obviously, we're at the end of the show, so we're not really going to go too far. I was just bringing it up since we had it
Yeah. So that's the
pulled
whale
up.
stream. You got the $10 off there. I'll be down below. I know you love it, and a couple of guys in the Discord use it. So it's definitely it's another tool to add into the belt. This is something that if you're gonna do this thing full force, you need to invest. And I was putting off paying for a lot of things, but now I'm starting to accumulate more tools in the toolbox myself. So you got to invest in yourself.
Yeah, it's great for if you're going to trade options, see where the flow's going, and it'll definitely help in that area. So
All right. Well, numbers. Thanks again, and everybody have a good night, and we'll get at it tomorrow early in the morning.